What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we have to talk about the Forspoken review scores. So they're out. They're out the day before the game comes out. As I've talked about before, doesn't necessarily mean a death sentence. Back in the day, it used to be a pretty telling sign, right? That there's very little confidence in it. As the gaming industry has moved along, specifically over the last year, quite a few games, both good and bad, have had the review scores go up the day before. So I wasn't sold on just because it comes out the day before it was going to be terrible. Although last night I did predict that this game was going to receive a Metacritic score of 69. And all jokes aside, the game's sitting at a 68. So I just want to say how freaking close I was. I was 1.1 off of the actual score. So I'm pretty proud of myself. So let's talk about it. I know some YouTube reviewers got it. I saw Mr. Matty Plays got it. I'm really happy about that. I'm a big fan of his channel. And then you got a lot of the gaming press. Now, what's also, remember, important to note, there were a lot of people on Twitter, talking, whether you want to say complaining or not complaining or whatever, there was a lot of people talking about how they seem to have been excluded. Square Enix did not pick them, and they normally get codes, right? So read into that how you will. I'm not here to tell you what to think, and I'm also not here to tell you that the reviews are a be-all, end-all. I've never believed that. I think there's something you can kind of read and just see what these people are thinking. But with that being said, I suggest to make your own decision. Make your own decision on Forspoken based off of what you have seen, the dialogue, the plot, the graphics, the look, the feel. Base your opinion off of that, off of your own mind, not off of the review scores. That's just a suggestion I will float out there. But with that being said, it does have a 68, and it's a spread. There's actually a few. I think there's one that gave it a 95. There's one that gave it a 90 or a 9 out of 10, right? 9.5 out of 10. There's also several in the 8s. The fact of the matter is the game gets a 68. Well, if it only got 4s and 5s and stuff, which it does have. It has 4s, it has 6s, a lot of 6s, but it also has a lot of 8s to kind of even it out, right? You imagine a bunch of 6s, a bunch of 8s, and all of a sudden you're left with a 7, which is pretty close to what this game is. And without going into, you can look at all the reviews yourself if you want. There's like 58 of them, I believe, at the time I'm recording this. Honestly, I think we were kind of right. Now, again, base it off of the reviews what you want, but I had said multiple times leading into this game that I think the main thing is going to be the combat and the parkour. That's what's going to make this game special. And throughout the board, you can look at the 4s, you can look at the 5s, you can look at the 6s, 8s, 9.5, all of them. The pro of this game is the combat, so long as you liked it in the demo. Like, it gets better, like there's more stuff to it, but it doesn't wildly change. So if you hated how the combat felt in the demo, I'm pointing to my TV over there, if you hated it, then you're not going to like it. But that is the strength of this game. Movement, how she moves, is the strength of the game. Everything else, kind of up to the opinion of the reviewer. The higher up scores liked the open world. The higher up scores liked the story. The lower scores hated the story. It's a divide. There's a lot of people that absolutely hate Frey. She's a very unlikable character. I've seen that over and over again. The dialogue is awful. I've seen that. And I'm talking about the lower end scores, right? Lower end scores, the world is lifeless. And I'd argue, the higher scores kind of admitted to that too. What I've been reading from even the 8s or 9s that this game has gotten, it seems like the open world and the checklist kind of side quests, right? The stuff that you're kind of doing throughout the open world and it just kind of being like a checking off the list kind of thing. It seems to be unanimous. Even if it's a low score or a high score, it's not the game's strength. It's not the game's strength. Honestly, it does seem like it's almost preference of, will the story work for you? Will the dialogue work for you? I did see people that say they like the dialogue. I also saw people say it's absolutely awful. Again, make your own decision based off the dialogue maybe you have seen or maybe watch like the first hour. I don't know, you do your own research, I guess I would say to it. There's also some pretty funny ones. I implore you guys to not read the Polygon one because the last I won't read it out loud. I won't get into the controversy too bad, but my dear God, the last paragraph of the Polygon review, it's garbage. It's absolute garbage, and it's kind of what we talk about with the gaming media, right? Injecting certain things. Just go read it on your own if you want to, but that's the thing. Some of these people have kind of slants to them. Some of them just don't even care about the game itself. They just want to talk about the protagonist and her ethnicity and stuff. There's so much stuff that goes into any game's review. I like talking about them. I like going over review scores. And factually, there's a lot of people on planet Earth that look to review scores to make their determination. They're on the fence about Forspoken. They look at it, oh, it's got a 68. Oh, it must not be good. Oh, 68's not bad. I'll get that's how a lot of people function, right? I'm just trying to kind of throw out there that you got to look at them individually. I think there is stuff to be taken from it. And flat out, not that I'm a prophet or anything, but flat out honest, we had kind of predicted this for months, that the open world didn't seem so full. It didn't really look like it. The combat was going to be really good, or if there was going to be a strength of the game, it was going to be the combat. The dialogue, boy, hit or miss, and some people ended up liking it. Some people didn't. Some people said the plot got better, and it just took a really long time to get going. Some people said the plot was good all the way through. Some people said the plot was terrible the whole way through. So obviously very subjective to whoever was, reviewing it. I know some people have like their own go-to favorites that they'll go to for their thoughts. That's totally cool. For the record, tomorrow, I'll be getting the game, so I'm gonna play as much as I can, and I'll try to do like the earliest impressions video humanly possible. Not a review, but just to try to like tell you guys, here's how I feel after 5-10 hours. Like, if you trust me, you want my opinion on it, I'll give that to you as quickly as I can. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think about the review scores in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, all that jazz, and I hope to see you all on the next one.